Okay, it seems the chat is working. It also seems that what else is working? Yeah, I got a few things now working, and it's very rare for me to stream as I do art for the only reason that I find that a bit distracting, but also wanted to change up a little bit. Yeah, so just as a summary, I am doing some clips, so I do have a project that I've been working on and off for the past few years. Well, not years. Sorry, that's not true. I started last year. But I wouldn't mind getting a bit of this done. I am working in a weird way where I'm doing like really big rocks. Ideally, when it comes to when it comes to doing stuff like this, usually you would do it in pieces, and then you would put the pieces together, not in a modular way, but more like loose, right? So you would have like you might do like 3 or 4 variations of a cliff and then 3 or 4 variations of a rock like this. The way that I'm doing here, it's a bit more like I'm doing everything, but I will be doing everything in a small scale, like a small environment. So this piece here, for example, it's just the cliff side, right? Let me open Unreal really quickly. This was at first a means to, how do I say this? This is a means to demonstrate to my students how to do an environment, right? From the block out different pieces. And now that everyone's doing the major projects, I thought, why not get back to this and try to finish it so I could put it in my website, in my portfolio, right? So let's have a look here. The launch. So I got rocks, and I do have another project that I want to finish eventually, which is this Greek architecture one. If I can finish those 2 projects by January next year or February the latest, when we start the environment, that will be kind of cool. So I'll give you a bit of a demo here. Hopefully this is working. I don't think my 3D Navigator is still working. I was hoping that I could get this connected in here. Ah, there you go. Yeah, get it working, baby. Okay, restart now. I don't think I'm gonna get any viewers because whenever I put up on streams, I barely advertise it on Facebook or LinkedIn or anything. But it still records it in the background, so it's nice to show if I need to show to anyone about this. So let's close this and this. And let's see if it works with the Space Navigator. Oh, it does. And not only it works magically. Yeah, so this is going to be a really good tool to show, to use for camera settings and stuff like that. So can't believe that I forgot to, because I guess because the biggest problem that I have with myself right now is how much I'm moving between computers. But yeah, I just need to put more time into this. F11 full screen. So the way that I'm gonna work with this today is I'm gonna focus with this area around here. So in terms of storytelling, this is where the pilgrimage kind of like you go around here, you start here, then you're meant to go through these really narrow things, and then you see this gigantic vista. And then after this vista, then you keep on going, and this is where you see the tree at first. And then you go forward, and then you go up this staircase, and then after that, this is where you have the people praying in there. So everyone's praying, and everyone's like, lol. And then after that, then, yeah, you've got the staircase that's like, it's meant to symbolize. So you got the tree and everything's like looking super groovy, and then you got the staircase, which is symbolizes like ascension, right? So I've done a lot of this rocks here by hand, and I need to just do a bit more pieces as well. They're still very blocky out, but then that's where it cuts there. Like I might just do like a doorway, not a doorway, like a little gate or something like that over there. And so I think it's a little bit overambitious, this project for myself. I need to do it more into individual pieces. I can see here I was maybe trying to do the composition with some pieces with the lighting and the shadows. So I can see here, like, this might be an opportunity for me to do what I was saying earlier, where I've got like some modular pieces that I slap on. So I think I need to have a combination of both of tiling textures. Then I can do some unique pieces like this cliff part here and this. That's okay to do it very unique. I think these rocks here are good enough. I might just slap like a tiling texture for this. This part here, this is what I'm going to be focusing on today. So let's go back to the sculpture. And yeah, like I said earlier, I don't think this is the ideal way to work with this. But I also want to have a very hands-on approach with this and just feel like... by the way, I am using a brush that I'm a huge fan of, which is this one here, the Trim Smooth Border, to do this carving kind of effect. And I want to, story-wise, like I want to provide the sensation in this part here that, yeah, it's being carved by humans, so humans can... I like how I talk about humans here, like they are an alien. But it's essentially for humans to... Ooh. What's the geometry there looking like? Ew. What's that? Let's see if we can smooth out a little bit. Is there a way that we can... Ooh. Ooh. Girl, what happened there? No, relax a bit more. Okay, so you know how I masked that area there, so you can... Why is it taking so long? I'm only relaxing a bunch of squares. Shouldn't be taking this long, just to relax a few vertices. It's a little bit wearing. In the meantime, that's happening. Yeah, I'll show you in Maya what's some of these pieces looking like. So I will. The main reason why I was doing this piece overall is to test out how far can I push this with nanite, where I would still like try to do everything with clean geometry. But it's just to push nanite to the limits with a very small environment like this, for example, right? So I wonder if this has even got UVs. So I wanted to try out a workflow. Where are the UVs? Oh, they are there for some reason. So yeah, it's got UVs. So I just wanted to experiment, you know. How would this look like? I might need to do a little bit of cleaning here. That's looking a bit iffy. But yeah, I just wanted to like just push the boundaries with nanite and try different workflows with, okay, how much can I push with doing vertex painting with having a different amount of painting here. But it's yeah, we'll see how far can I push this. I'm not too sure if I'm convinced with this workflow. I think it's a bit overkill for what it is. I'm And see if I can cancel this, please. Come back. But yeah, like I said earlier, you would usually do this in modular pieces, and then you would like put the modular pieces together, and you'll slap it together, and then you would use a shader that does the blending with the different parts. So next time, if I do an environment like this, I'll definitely do it that way. Ooh. What happened there as well? But yeah, I even tried to match the lighting here so I could get a bit of a sense of what's going on with the composition. And yeah, I will try to finish those few parts there, and then I'll just, the rest of it, I'll try to slap it together because I would like to finish this very soon. Let's have a look. It's interesting, every single time I open the ZBrush, I still need to go to advanced settings in here and change that, and then close it. It doesn't save it for some reason. It's a bit annoying. I wish that it would just always maintain the settings. So yeah, I've got all the other pieces in here as well, which is kind of cool. But I might just only do things with normal maps. This one, and this one. And then I would do a combination with normal maps. Like, I'm not gonna texture it by hand. Like, I'm just gonna use the normal maps across and maybe the ambient occlusion, but then everything else is going to be like done with tilables, just to keep the resolution nice and crispy. What's that? Is that like a singular piece there? Okay. And when it comes to this kind of stuff, reference is key, because sometimes inventing this kind of details is a terrible idea. So sometimes it's good to pick a very specific thing to gather inspiration from. So let's have a look. Yeah, maybe something like that, something basic. I think I need to be very careful that I don't get too over-convoluted here with the details. One last brush that I need to get is the smooth one. Smooth direction. And what's good about this brush here is, yeah, it will smooth the details to the direction that you are doing it as well. But yeah, I'll try to give it this a bit more the effect that it's being carved by humans. So I'm gonna get a bit of a square. Like something like that, and this is being carved by human beings to make it nice and flat. And I'm gonna do it in the same direction. And sometimes a lot of this is trying to emulate, in a way, trying to emulate a little bit. Okay, so if you had a tool, how would that tool work in that life? So at the moment, I'm just using like a bad alpha there, and I'm just gonna pretend that I'm scratching the surface in a way that's trying to match to the same direction, but it's being scratched away so people can stop in the side of the road. And I'm finding this alpha's a little bit too noisy. So this one there might be a little bit better. Just give the sensation that you're scratching that surface. I don't know if you noticed, but I am using this here to say, okay, to what orientation I want this to be in. And sometimes you can just go, okay, I want things to be flat in this direction, right? Or you can pick an angle, so you can just go, okay, I'm gonna pick that angle. So you have shape language when it comes to a lot of these things. But you should also consider angle language. I don't think it's something that does exist in art. But when it comes to doing things like this, sometimes having similar angles can work, because then when you set the specific lighting, then it's not too over convoluted, like everything's just following to the same direction. And that's gonna be quite harmonious as well. It's looking a little bit too busy. Well, getting a bit worried, so I need to simplify it a little bit. And so far, I had 4 viewers. 4 people have come to say hello, and then they've disappeared. That's okay. I'm sure you'll find someone out there that's gonna entertain you with a joke or something. Yeah, but I did seclude this area because I want to make sure that I get one area nice. If I go back a few steps, no, maybe I shouldn't have done that. It's quite sluggy. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I think when I started working this, I was like, oh yeah, with nanite, I can have millions and millions of polygons. And then you put it in the game engine, and then you go, okay, that's cool, I guess. That you can, you can put all these millions of polygons, and it does a pretty good job. But if you had to grab this and do a bake, like a normal map bake, it would still look way better. Like, I think still you have to consider that when it comes to nanite, I still think it's better to, like, it's still a silhouette kind of a thing. It's not a normal maps. Like, if you got all these detailed normal maps playing with that, it will still look way better in my opinion. Okay, I need to simplify this a bit more. So I need to have some bigger shapes. So what I might do is I'll just, with the lasso, I'll just mark a big area and say, okay, so this area here needs to be like all the same flat kind of a thing. And try to like simplify it. And I'm also trying to avoid having that weird, how to explain this? Having everything look like mud. You see how here it looks very muddy? It has to look more like... It should look more like it's being carved out, right? Hence why I'm using everything to the same direction. And at some point, when we go back in here inside of Unreal, or in this case here, we are seeing this stuff at this angle as well. So we should at some point go in this angle and see how does it look at that angle as well. Because if it doesn't look good in that angle, then we also have a problem, right? It's being carved out by humans. Those humans destroying the environment just so they can follow their cults and their religion. If you're religious, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to be funny. Hello there, so I've got one viewer at least, that's good. Say hello. Got any questions about this so far, or what I'm doing with the process here with this rock in ZBrush? No comments. You're just here for the moral support. I would laugh so hard if all of a sudden you left. It's like, I don't like the pressure pie. Just disappear. I might work with this angle here to make it a little bit flatter, so I'm just gonna pick that angle there and try to make sure that we've got that distinctive angle language. Ooh, that's a bit funky there. I think I need to work on a lower resolution. Yeah, that's gonna be a bit better. Get those shapes working at that resolution, and then I can go in later and just flatten those a little bit. That geometry there, I'm a little bit worried it's gonna get funky. Ah, fix it. Oh my god. Let's see, extra resolution. Yeah. So this is the area here that I need to think, you know, if there's any little props or anything like that when the humans travel to this destination here, or the pilgrims. You know, what are they going to put in here? So I was just thinking some vases, some stationary kind of thing, some vases of water as well, like some baskets. I think I did in here. I did get some photos of people doing pilgrimage, I think. So it will be like some sticks and some rocks and like yeah, we'll do that kind of stuff. It would be so cool to have something like this as well, but that's a maybe later after they finish everything else kind of a thing, and like little areas where you've got like little bricks like that. Yeah, I got a bit carried with this. It's like, chill. This is all AI generated, I'm sorry. And then I decided to paint it with my own hands, and this is actually painted. So this is the idea. But yeah, it will be like things like that in that side over there. There's the thing with this kind of environments, right? Like, I need to be careful not to get too carried away, because I think the point is like it looks good, just work until it looks good, and then move on. Don't get too hyper fixated. Because unfortunately, the reality with this is that most people that will see, say that you put this in a video game environment or in a movie, most people will see this for 4 or 5 seconds. They will look at it and be like, wow, that looks amazing. And then they will look at the next thing, right? Like, people are not very patient. They will just, oh my God, that looks awful. They're going to look at it just for a few seconds and be like, oh wow, that looks beautiful, and then they will look at the next thing. So it's like, just work with it until it looks good, and as soon as it looks good, then go, you know what, that's enough. And you really need to learn to move into the next thing, right? And I think I'm saying this more for myself because I'm really bad at that as well, right? Like, I don't know how to just stop sometimes, so yeah, I think that's great. So I'm gonna pick this angle a little bit in perspective. Sometimes when you do this kind of stuff, sometimes changing the shader just so you can see, oh, that's a bit noisy. So you can have a bit of an idea. Because sometimes you become a bit blind with your own work. And I might use hard polish for a second and just try to polish some of that noise. Because before I would always be like, oh, put how much detail as possible, like just keep on putting more detail. But nowadays it's like, no, too much detail. You need to like reduce it, because otherwise people are gonna get, stop it. That's what happens when you use 4 different computers. Where's the wheel? Detach ring. Okay, we can do disable for one of these. Cool. Alright, no, it's not gonna disco balls on me. So sometimes you need to learn where to remove detail with some of these areas. So apparently I've got 1 viewer, but don't even know who this is. It'd be nice to know who's checking my channel. At least, you know, to have a chat with me. Might be a bot, random bot. So this is all flattened as well. So this guy that's done this all brushes, they're really good. The only problem that I have with this is that they can sometimes look a little bit too over stylized in a bad way as well. So I just have to be careful when I use his brushes. Kind of really like what I've got going on here, but it's a bit too detailed, so I'm just going to do a bit more of that polish. Try to iron out some of those details. Just to simplify it a little bit. Now I'm kind of a little bit lost with my brushes. Where's the one that I was using with the... I think I'm gonna keep on using this one. But yeah, I'm gonna put myself a timer, so it's one. So I'm gonna say 1:30. I'm gonna try to finish this at 1:30. So I'm gonna now try to rush it, so I don't get too distracted. I'm gonna try to simplify it. So I'm gonna do a simplified pass with this, just to, because otherwise I think I'm chilling too much in a bad way. If that makes sense. And I don't know if you noticed, but yeah, I'm just picking the angle that I want to make consistency with, and I'll just do the pieces following that angle, just to simplify some of these shapes, because otherwise it's a little bit too, it's a bit too busy overall, and I'm just worried that it's gonna be information overload. So I'm just picking very specific angles that's like running in the same angle with a lot of these pieces. So it feels like with the terraforming, I don't know if there's a better word for that. It feels like when this is, because this will be in the millions of years, right? So you would have all these shapes, like you see how they're running in the same direction. You want to make sure that everything is like following the same way. But I'm using a conjunction of, or I say, of both artistic choices on those angles. So it's actually following the same direction, but at the same time I'm trying to make it look like as naturalistic as possible, so it doesn't look like it's man-made, right? Which is the biggest problem whenever you're doing art that's artistic. It still has to look like it's, you know, it's been there for a million years, or it would be more like, how many million years would this be, right? So just trying to simplify some shapes. I think this area here is looking a little bit too busy, so I'm gonna simplify a bit that. And notice how I'm not changing the angle too much, like I'm doing this at a certain distance, because you will like just look at it at this distance, right? You're not gonna look at it too up close. So that's another thing that's quite important. You don't want to work at this kind of stuff too up close, because otherwise you're gonna get lost a little bit of the composition, right? Making sure that looks good at a distance. Okay, cool. So I like what's happening over here. Like it looks like it's being carved a little bit. I might change the alpha there for a second. So we can like give it a bit of a rake kind of effect. I've got this rake from Ryan Kingsley that is, yeah, this one here. His work is outstanding, but he's more of a he's more of a character artist. I don't think I've seen any environment stuff of him, but he uses this rake on everything. Like he's obsessed with it. And for this kind of work, Ryan Kingsley, that's his name. It's a very nice thing. You see how I'm just scratching in the same direction? I think just to give it the sensation that yes, someone's been scratching this surface there in order to accommodate this place for people to sit. A little bit. And then when we do this with the normal maps, it will look really cool. Yeah, I love that so much. Kind of almost like it's giving a bit of a sketch kind of effect. How are we doing with time? Alright, we've got 12 minutes. I'm enjoying this. Maybe I'll give it more time actually. It's really weird to work on a piece when you're thinking about reducing detail while still working on it. Like, I'm like, okay, that looks too busy. Let's reduce that area there. Let's simplify it. So it's almost a little bit like you're doing art with a design mentality. So you're reducing detail by hand instead of just pressing the delete button. You're like, oh, that looks a bit too busy there, so let's try to simplify it by scratching it away. I think it's kind of cool. I've never thought about it that way. It's like, let's reduce detail by just making it look like by hand, just simplifying it. Like this area here, for example, that's hot. My eyes right now is like, ugh, what am I looking at? So that's try to like simplify that area there. It looks like it's being carved out to simplicity. And I wish I had that brush set up in here. Do I have it? I swear I had that brush in here. Trim adaptive. Where is it? No. It's called the trim border, so I must have it in here. There you go. Ah, got it on here twice for some reason. Okay. It's a good idea to learn sometimes the shortcuts on the different brushes because you can press B, T, D, whatever. But in that case, it will be B, T, K for some reason. Now this part here, I better chill because I got a feeling that I've got these gigantic rocks on there. So I don't think that is too important that I put too much detail in here because I think a lot of it might be hidden with some additional rocks on top of it. So just have to like do something a bit simple like that. If the eye cannot see, like a lot of the stuff that's like back here and back there, if the eye cannot see, it's like, why bother? Don't do it. Like it should just be like a flat plane, right? Like do something really simple. Oh my god. I think this if you use this in perspective, it breaks. It doesn't work very well. So I think I need to get out of perspective to have a better effect with that. Ah, yeah, that's looking nice. I kind of wish there was a class on rock erosion, but it was for artists, so it's like, you need to understand how rock breaks over time with the different things, but it's done in a way that's like for artists, so you say, if you need to carve the rock this way in order to get that effect, and now that's gonna work. And it's like, I don't think there's anything like that. Yeah, this is looking beautiful. Okay, like this, because with a lot of the surfaces, I'm gonna have a I will slap a tileable texture on top of these. So, like, sometimes the texture itself will do the work anyways. So I think it's very important that I don't overdo it anyways, because otherwise it's gonna look like noise. We'll just do a few of these over here. There you go, yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Sorry, should not do over-sexualized noise. So, oh yeah. Come to daddy. I think I must be the only person that enjoys making rocks in this planet, like, or bricks, for some reason. Like, it's, I don't know, I think there's something relaxing about it. Oh, that's getting a bit noisy now. Let's... I think I need to go to a few resolutions lower. That's the thing, if it doesn't look at this resolution, then it doesn't matter how much detail you put in the further LODs, if that makes sense. So sometimes it's good to go in this resolution here, smooth it in the direction of the rock on how it's cracking. So I'm just smoothing it into this direction there. Right, so I'm simplifying it. And then I'm making it look good in this resolution. Because if it doesn't look good in this resolution, then the extra detail that you do later it's not gonna matter. So I'm just smoothing it in this resolution then that direction. And then once that's done, then I'll increase the resolution a couple of steps and then try to like fix it in that resolution, if that makes sense. The thing that I'm thinking is, like, yes, I'm putting a lot of work with this one piece here. But in the future, I could break this into further pieces and then use them modularly in other areas. So, I think that will be a very clever way that I can still use this work in other places if I decide to make this environment like 10 times bigger, right? For whatever reason. In this part up here, I don't think you would see it that much because you'd be walking around there. So I think I need to be careful not to worry too much about that area. Yeah, by the way, this is some royalty-free music, and man, for royalty-free, this is not too bad. It's kind of nice. So this is the kind of music that you should be listening to. Nothing with too many lyrics. I find that as soon as music has got way too many lyrics, I find it really hard to focus. I find. All right, this is looking really nice. Cool. Yeah. Okay. I'm scared that if I try to simplify this area, I'm gonna erase what I've done earlier, so I might go back and see. Okay, let's change the shader because I'm getting a little bit sometimes crossed eye by using the same shader. Ugh, I don't like that one. Sure, let's go back to this one. And let's increase the resolution one more time. Let's go to subdivision 4 now. And I think this is already working for me a lot more. So we've done that simplification process. And we got some very well-defined shapes. And it looks really good at this angle perspective. So when I do the portfolio reel, it's gonna look really good. Because if it doesn't look at this, if it doesn't look at this resolution and at this angle, then there's no point. So I think we're finally getting to a point here that I'm happy with. Alright, cool. The other reason that you want to make sure that whenever you're doing these art pieces here, that you want to make sure that it's got the same angular shapes with the rocks and everything. Is that because, yeah, if you've got any light that is shining at that specific angle, it's going to be a lot easier if you've got multiple faces shining in the same direction. So then it's going to look really good when you do the lighting pass. If like it's almost like reverse lighting techniques. It's like, oh, cool. So if all the angles, it's got the same direction, then whenever you are placing the spotlight or whatever, it's going to look really good because you got faces that are sharing the same direction, right? Alright. I'm so happy with this. It could be one of those things that I'm like, oh my god, I love this. And then I'll look at it tomorrow, I'll be like, oh, this looks shit. Oops, I said a bad word on Facebook. I mean, YouTube. I should perhaps save this soon. I mean, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's got the whole quick thing, but... No, don't like that. No, don't like that either. Okay. I should focus that area here next. I'm pretty decent and happy with that. Let's increase the resolution one more. It's funny how each time that I increase the resolution, the whole thing just like goes. It's almost like it's like takes a big dump and goes. It's like, come back, don't die on me. Just give it a bit of that sensation that things are being cracked, and the borders there. So it just kind of looks like it's being crumbled over the edges, just to give it that sensation of everlasting and never ending. This alpha is making it. Man, whoever introduced me this brush, I think it was Charles. Thank you, Charles. It's my favorite brush ever, especially with doing rocks like this. It's a godsend. It's like especially in conjunction, like in with this as well together. It's like, wow, man! Like, look at that, so good. And it's not a default brush. You need to like look for it. You need to find it. You know, so it's not an easy discoverable brush as well, to be honest. Okay, so that can go like this way. Cool, we are 136. I still need to do. Consider that this is going to be like a very important shot with the presentation. I will keep on working with this a bit more. But I'm very happy with so far how this is going. Like, I'm gonna make a really nice bake with this. Is the chat working at all? Like, I've had one person viewing this for a while now, but No one's chatting a single thing. It's making me wonder if the chat is even working. It's like, I do sometimes get at least one person chatting. Just one. And that's nice. Just to give me the sensation that I'm not alone in this world, I guess. This part here, I need to not worry too much. No one's gonna look at that. Be funny if I did something that looks very ugly, that's like hidden in the corner, and it's like, oh, you know, no one's gonna look at that. And then some random person goes, oh, well, you know, they look shit. Why did you do it that way? I'll be like, you were not meant to look there. Look here. This looks nice. Like, oh, yeah, but I was looking at that corner there. You don't like it. You always get someone like that when they want to give you feedback and they look at the most random place. You're like, oh, they look shit. It's like, no one's gonna care. It's like hidden in the corner there, you know. My favorite is that I was the worst. I would just randomly try to give feedback to people when they would not ask for it, and people would get so angry. People would be like, did I ask for it? And I'd be like, no. They'd be like, well, if we don't ask for it, we don't want it. And I think that's a very important lesson, because yeah, you don't want to be that person, trust me, especially when someone's finished working on a piece and it's done and they've put it up in the art station or whatever. Feedback is a bit too late. They've already got their portfolio up, they've already got it on a website somewhere. And sometimes it's like, you know what, what's done, it's done. Maybe don't give feedback anymore, because it's not going to make them feel good. It's like, next, they're going to want to work on the next thing. And not anymore. Nowadays, I will ask. I'll be like, do you want feedback? A lot of the times, unfortunately, some people will be like, yes, I want the feedback, because they're curious. They just want to hear what you don't like about it or what should be better. And then as soon as they hear it, they're like, well, you know, they try to be very defenseful, and they'll be like, well, yeah, you know, I'm you know, I did it that way because of this reason. And I'll be like, oh, okay, cool. Sorry, man. I won't say it again. But I find, especially at AIE, I find the best students are the ones that are able to take the feedback and they are able to not get too offended by it. Like they'll be more than happy to hear it. And they will not get too emotionally attached to what you're saying, to their feedback. They're like, oh, that's okay. Yeah, cool. I'll take it on board. I'll do it. And then they'll do it. And then they'll come back with something that looks way better. And I think that's pretty important. If you get too attached to your work in an emotional way, it is a problem. You don't want that to happen. By the way, I'm so happy how I'm just working this at a distance. And I'm not like super zoomed in. I'm like just doing it this way. I'm super proud with myself. I've had problems for so many years and years and years. I would just do everything so up close, and it's not important at all. And I just really wish that someone actually smacked me. Someone actually physically grabbed a heavy object and just smashed me into the face and said, "No, what are you doing, man? Just step back. Do this at a distance," you know. And I've been very restrictive while doing this, just doing everything at a distance, and it just looks so much better. Doing this at a composition level. If you guys are watching this, can you do me a solid? Can you just say something? Just write something on the chat. Say hello. Just say hello. I won't engage much with you, but I just want to know if the chat is working with this. It might be working. I'm not even aware. Maybe I'll check YouTube very quickly. Maybe people are talking to me. I don't even know. I'm like, it is working. And I'm just crazy. I'm not even replying to anyone. Maybe I'll check YouTube very quickly. Yeah, no one's chatting. Okay. Wait. Close. Yeah, no one's saying anything in the chat here. Okay, cool. Whatever. Fine. Don't chat to me. I'll be all lonely doing this. Some people don't like to chat because they feel like I might disclose their identity or might talk about them. I remember I had this one random person that he was a bit like that. He was like, oh, just don't tell my name online. I'm like, oh, okay, sure. I won't say it. I won't say your name then. I'll keep it to myself. The problem that I have with doing rocks like this is that if most lead artists they saw me doing this rocks this way, I reckon they would freak out because they'll be like, so what, are you going to be doing this for the next 25 years if you had to do a whole mountain? You know, and I'd be like, you got a point there. And then I will be a teacher for the rest of my life. 25 million years later. Okay, that part there I'm not too happy about, so let's go down a few steps. This rocks. Thank you. I mean, it is rocks. And thank you for saying hello, because for a second there I thought I had a technical difficulty with this. I could also say that your face is a rock, but that would be very rude. No, wouldn't it? Alright, cool. I think I'm gonna move away from this area. Sometimes, I think I've said that already 20 times. I'm like, I'm gonna move out, and then I just keep, I just keep on working on it. This area here looks a little bit too smooth, so I might just work with this area a little bit, and then after that, I'm gonna move on the other side. BTK. Thank you for saying something. How's your day been so far? Tell me something. Talk with me. Say something cool. What have you done today? Do you use ZBrush at all? Do you sculpt? How you doing, Bailey? Yeah, so just out of curiosity, like I wouldn't mind seeing some sculpted pieces in your environment. Actually, the one that you guys are doing with the game. Like when I saw those hexagons, I'm like, oh man, just sculpt some hexagons in there, and you're like, I don't know. I'll think about it. I'm like, just do it. But at the same time, I know how much time and effort it is to do this kind of stuff. Like, it's a lot of work, and the baking as well, and just like, it's like 4 or 5 times more work. So at the same time, I'm like, might not be worth the effort. So I get it. I get it. Maybe the reason that I'm like, I need to know who are they is because I don't want to talk too much about work. I might be saying the wrong thing, you know, so sometimes I want to keep it. Maybe it should be like a normal rule. Only to say nice things about work. Oh, look at that, man. Oof. Yeah, oh yeah, you definitely need some vegetation in there, man, because it's looking very barren. I know that you are up in the sky or in heaven or whatever. I would gather a little bit of inspiration maybe from Tears of the Kingdom with having like orange vegetation and grass. Maybe that can work a little bit better, but a little bit of livery would be nice. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed with your project, man. Like, you guys, you've gone a long way in the past few weeks. It's looking really good. But I think that, yeah, just making the game feel good when you're playing it. It's very normal that in the beginning, the first few weeks, you need a little bit more adjustment. But eventually you guys will get across that and it will look good. But you guys need to play a few games. Like, you could play Hades too. Have you checked that game yet? Because my flatmate's got it. I might play it a little bit later. Yeah, I still need to finish the first one. I got to the final boss of the first game, and I think I tried to defeat him 3 or 4 times, and after the 4th time, it took me to this ultimate form of the enemy, and he only had like a hairline left of life, and then he killed me, and I got so angry. I was like, fuming, and I was like, alright, that's it. I just stopped playing the game. I was like, nah. I'm done. That's it. I'm over. I'm a little bit like that with some games. I can be very vindictive if I die all the time. Like all the Elder Ring games and all the Dark Soul kind of games. Like, that's happened to me a few times as well. I'm like, cool, that was nice. See ya. Bye. I just leave. Just because I'm so time poor. Like, I've got really poor time management skills, I find. And I feel that if something is just asking for my time over and over again to do the same thing over and over again, I'm like, no, goodbye. But Hades 2, yeah, I'll definitely give it a play at least, even if it's just for a few hours, just to get a sense of the game. Because I like to research about games. Sometimes I love playing games, but sometimes I'll play the game more just to see game mechanics and how they've done some of the things and how the game plays. And even though I am an artist, sometimes I feel more like a designer. Sometimes whenever I'm thinking about games and stuff like that, the mechanics. Oh, this is really coming together now. Wow. So happy with this. This might be the best rock I've ever done in my life. Then again, I'm sure I'll look at this tomorrow. I'll be like, oh, it's a bit too busy, or it's a bit too crazy, or it's a bit too noisy. Yeah, what do you think, Bailey? What do you think about this rock? Do you think it's too detailed? Do you think it's nice, or do you think I should do something different to it? It's like sometimes when students ask me for too much feedback, I'll be like, your turn to give me feedback. And they'll be like, ah. And then they'll be like, it looks nice. I'm like, man, what kind of feedback is that, dude? Say something better. I don't like what I've done there. Undo. You mean this part here on the right? Yeah. I'm trying to have a balance between not being too detailed and still having the right detail in the right places. I think it's too busy. So I might open this later in the week and be like, cool, let's simplify some of these shapes. No, it's got some areas of rest, I guess. So I might just... Yeah, I think it's okay. I think it's got some clear phases, clear areas. Yeah, so I finished. Because was it you or was it Alex that was playing Expedition 33? Because I finally finished the game a couple of days ago. I was so happy. And the ending of that game, man, it's so tear jerking. Oh my god, I was in tears like a fool. So sad and so beautiful at the same time. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to say too much what happens. But yeah, man, such a good game. I think I was more sad that the game was over and finished. I was like, no, I never want this game to end. Yeah, I thought so. I wonder if he's... Do you know if he's finished the game? Have you played it much? Mm. I don't know, man. It is one of those games that I think sometimes you do need to stop playing it because it's very intense. Like the battle system can get it's a bit full on. I find the whole dodging pairing system is really intense as well. All right, I think this is good. Nope. Let's go back. Sometimes I find when there is too much detail, it makes the sculpting worse. Sometimes it's better to do, especially when you want to change a shape. Nah, it's not working. Wow, man, it's really breaking it. Maybe the angle's too different. Yeah, maybe I'll leave it. Maybe it's matching more to this one there. Alright, time to do some damn standard stuff. So let's do smoothing a little bit in the direction of the rocks, so it's like just so it's a bit smoother. And now I'm just gonna do a bit of a damn standard because like I've used the same brush. Sometimes it's important to be very diligent to use the same brush all the time. And I'm just gonna be like, okay, so now I'm gonna do a damn standard brush with all this area here. So I'm gonna go BDS, which sounds very kinky, and just gonna try to follow, you see, the same direction of the rock and some of the areas there. Orb has got again like a curve here, but it's super stylized. Everything, it's very World of Warcraft. It's very World of Warcraft-y. So looks. I want to make this more realistic and less stylized. If I'm doing Overwatch, maybe it's fine. I'll use it. So yeah, when I did this, when I decided to make this portfolio piece, I was like, my main goal was like, I just want to do lots of rocks. I was like, that's all I want. Lots of rocks. That's my point. So I picked the most rocky ideas, like just rocks. Just do lots of rocks. So sometimes, yeah, whenever you pick a portfolio piece, just think a little bit, okay, so what do I want to do or what do I want to demonstrate? Because that's the thing, it's like as soon as I finish this portfolio piece, if I got a client that says, hey, can you do rocks? I'll be like, can I? And I'll show this, and they'll be like, aha, I see you can do rocks. I'll be like, yes, I can. That's sometimes the point of this kind of portfolio pieces, you want to demonstrate a specific skill. All right, cool. Because this is subdivision 5, it's not even subdivision 7. I'm super happy with this. Yeah, man. So good. Now I'm looking at this, and this is looking like that in comparison. It's like, what happened to this? I lost all my detail in there. All the subdivs. So maybe I need to go back to that one and give it that same, because this is looking like $1 million, and now this is like poo comparison. Lol. It's alright. I love doing this kind of stuff, so I don't care. Going back to that and giving it some love. I should get some food, so I might be leaving soon. But thank you guys for being here with me. I just wanted to put up a stream of me doing some more work and having a bit more incentive at doing some cool stuff. I find that my motivation overall to do art has been dingling a bit more recently. I feel a bit more distracted. And I find that, yeah, if I'm doing it with a stream, I feel like, well, at least people can see me working and they can get a bit of an idea on what I'm doing. And I feel a little bit less distracted because I feel like I'm performing in front of an audience. So I think it's a good mix of the two. But yeah, this looks fantastic. I won't mind putting this inside of my Unreal Engine soon. Like, it's gonna go in here. Yeah, I can't wait to get a better graphics card, man. It's struggling sometimes. So I'm gonna put that in here. But I won't mind. There is UDIMs apparently. You can do this with UDIMs, with virtual texturing. So I might do a test soon. With a dice or something like that. So I'm gonna use a dice that uses 6 UDIMs and see how that's set up inside of Unreal. So that's gonna be interesting. Yeah. Cool. I'll see you guys around. And yeah, thank you for sticking up with me.